Good morning. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Holly. I make food and fitness videos. This is my first proper video of the new year. I have honestly been so excited to jump back into YouTube this year. I just feel like I'm just so excited to share this journey with you because this is episode 1 of my marathon training journey that I'm going to be documenting on YouTube. Episode 1, day 1. This is literally the first day that training has started. I am so excited. Honestly, there is no part of me that is nervous about this. I'm just so ready to jump in and do it. I feel like I had the nicest reset over Christmas. I had proper time off, enjoyed all the food, enjoyed all the relaxation, but now I'm ready to get back into routine, ready to get back on my meal plan, ready to get back on my training game and just absolutely smash it. So I did mention this previously, but I am training with Lucy Davis. She's going to be my coach for the marathon. She's going to be helping me with nutrition, but also my training plan. So I got my first training plan for the week from her yesterday. Very, very excited. There's a lot of differences to kind of how I would usually train, but I feel like I need that. If I want to become a better runner and I want to run longer distances, I need to implement some different changes. You can just do it how I was doing it. I was literally just going out doing 3 runs a week and building up my distance like that. And that is an amazing way to train. And it literally got me through 3 half marathons at the end of last year. And it was a really enjoyable way to train as well. But I feel like I'm just ready to step up my game a little bit. What I wanted to do with the first episode is run you guys through basically what my training plan is looking like this week. And then also what I'm doing food wise. So we're going to be doing a whole what I eat in a day of everything that I'm eating when I'm training for a marathon. And then I think as the series goes on, maybe I'll do some weekly vlogs where I kind of show you my training over the weeks. Just mix it up a little bit because I know I do a lot of daily vlogs. So I think I want to get into some more weekly ones as we go into the new year. But this week's training plan currently, we've got a 12k run, a 10k run, and then a tempo run. I've never done a tempo run in my life. I am scared. And then we've got 3 gym sessions and then an active rest day, which is perfect because I'm literally going for a hike this weekend with my friend Rosie and I cannot wait. So I'm going to be kicking the week off with my 12k run. I'm going to go into a bit more detail about how I'm going to be running this later when I'm getting ready for my run because it is a bit different to my usual runs. I am also a little bit poorly at the moment, so I am a bit nervous about doing this run. I did a run over the weekend that was 5 miles and it was really hard, but I do feel like I'm coming to the end of it. I woke up today and I feel way better. I don't feel as snotty and phlegmy as I have done for the past few days. That's absolutely disgusting, but that's how I'm feeling. I cannot begin to explain to you how excited I am to get dressed for today's run because, oh, this just makes my heart so happy. When I say that, when I read this email, I literally was internally screaming. My favorite brand has brought out a running collection. They brought out a running collection. We are taking some Tala Form Tech kit, because that's what the collection's called, out on its first spin. I actually think I'm gonna scream. Are we joking? Look at this running outfit. It's so hard to do a full body view with this camera, but I need it in every colour. I think there's 3 colourways. I think there's black and navy and this khaki, which is just absolutely insane. And the sports bra. So this is how we're looking on the sports bra front. This is going to be a true test for me because I need high impact. I've obviously got breast implants, so I need to make sure they're not feeling or jiggling around. But one thing I will say, without flashing you guys too much of my boobs, is it has actually got a clip here, which I think is just such a good additional design detail. What I'm assuming is that is just for extra support to keep your bra together when you're running. But things like that and details like that mean so much to me when I'm buying activewear because it shows that the brand has genuinely thought something out. They've not just released running gear because they think it's a good idea. They've released running gear because they know what runners want and they're just insane. I've got my trusty Hokas on. We have reverted back to the smaller Hoka. I have basically been having like leg pain. I did speak about this a few times before my half marathon, and I thought it was my Ugg boots. I stopped wearing my Ugg boots, I'm still getting the leg pain, and the only thing I think is I sized up in my trainers, and I'm worried that even that small amount of like space that I've kind of given my foot to move is causing my foot pain. It probably isn't, but I'm just trying to eliminate everything at the moment, and I never had that problem when I wore these ones, so I'm just going back to the smaller ones. RIP to my toenails because they definitely will not survive training for a marathon in these trainers. I'm just gonna go with it because I'd rather have no toenails than leg pain when I'm training for a marathon. So today's run is a little bit different. I did mention earlier, this training plan is like so new for me, and there's a few different things that we're gonna be doing. So one of the things that I'm doing is running in a lower heart rate zone. So essentially today I'm doing 12 kilometers. I run in miles, so I'm basically having to switch my brain from miles to kilometers. So that is like really different for me. And I know it probably sounds like a really minor change, but they're so different that like I'm literally having to like almost rewire my brain when I'm running. I'm also trying to run slower today. So today's run is a zone 2 heart rate run, which basically means I'm running at 70 to 80% of my heart rate when I'm running. So it's a slower run. So the aim of the game today is to actually run slowly, which is something I've struggled with in the past previously. But the point of this is that if you can run slower for longer distances, then it improves your cardiovascular health in the long run, which basically means that you can go longer distances and you can actually run faster. So it's new, it's gonna help in the long run. It's just gonna be a bit funny today because I'm figuring out how to work out my heart rate zone while I'm running, but also running in kilometers and making sure that I am definitely going slower. So hopefully, I think my Garmin should show me my heart rate while I'm running. Right, if I sit here and try and figure this out, we are literally gonna be on this vlog for hours. So I will head off and I'll see you guys on the run. So we just hit mile 3. I'm literally running along the canal. It's so nice here, but I always get lost around Salford Quay. So I end up doing really weird little like loops, and it's really hard to kind of know when you've hit halfway and it's time to go home. But so far, I do feel like even though I am running slower, my normal pace is at 8:30 and I'm kind of going between 9 and 9:20. I still feel like I'm working really hard, so I'm a bit worried that like my heart rate isn't even going to be low, but I think it's just like my body fighting against being ill. Right, we have just hit mile 4, so these are halfway. I'm not struggling, I'm just struggling to keep my pace even. Like every time I look at my watch, it's so different, and like I have no idea what my heart rate is doing. So we've now hit the 5 mile mark. Right, so I just hit mile 7. 1 more mile to go, easy. I'm going way too quickly now, so I need to slow down, but I feel like I've really settled into it now, which I guess is kind of like towards the end. You do, because it's towards the end, you know that you're finishing, but this is the training plan. Starting off at around 12k, 8 miles, and we'll be working up to the 26 miles. Right, I'm aware that the clips I filmed on my phone were probably not the best. Definitely need to invest in some sort of like stabilizing GoPro. It was probably like all over the place, but first one done. I feel really good, like off the back of it. Obviously it was a slower run. However, looking at my stats, like it wasn't that slow. I don't think it was slow enough, which probably isn't the best. I'm gonna voice note Lucy and send her like all the details. My heart rate was still pretty high, but it was slower than my normal pace. But I don't know whether like it's being ill and it's not having like done 8 miles in like 2 weeks or something like that, but it definitely probably could have been a bit slower. It's just hard when you're running. Like it's so hard to slow down because you're like, this feels good. Like I feel great. Like I was looking at my watch, I was doing like an 8-minute pace at the very end of that, and I was like, what are you doing? But we are done. Right, let's just talk about this for a second because yeah, we've got sweat patches, but I'm fucking loving it. Like, come on. We're all gonna have sweat patches at the end of the run. The only thing I would say is I had to tuck these in. So these are cute every day, but I do just tuck them in. But then to be honest, as soon as I tucked them in, like I couldn't really feel them. One thing we do need to talk about, this sports bra. I have not worn a different sports bra to run in than my Gymshark ones for my whole running journey, because the Gymshark ones are supportive. I've never found one that looks nice but it's also supportive. This did it all. This literally has revolutionized my sports bra game now, because I am gonna need this in every single color. Please ignore how sweaty I am.
Just trying to be myself. It's a crazy world, looking to find my place and all they do is...
Just had my eggs on bagel. Oh my God, that was so nice. That is the first big bagel I've had in so long. We're moving away from bagel thins. They're not needed anymore. We need the big bagels. We need all the calories at the moment. So I'm gonna talk to you guys about currently what I'm doing food-wise, because obviously I'm training for a marathon, like I need to be eating. So this was one of the things that last year I felt a bit like overwhelmed with. I think trying to manage my calories myself and like increase them, but also not get too in my head about it was quite difficult, which is weird because I'm in such a good place with my food, but I just didn't have the knowledge really for it. So Lucy has put my calories up to 2,100 at the moment, which is actually the most I've ever had programmed for me. And I think one of the problems last year was that even though my calories were high, I was just really struggling to hit them because I would go on a run in the morning, I wouldn't eat directly after my run, and then I'd end up with like 1,000 calories left for dinner, and I didn't want to sit and eat like a huge meal. So one of my goals for this year is I am going to be hitting that. So I'm basically trying to focus as like part of making sure that I'm nailing that 2,100 every single day, is focusing on packing in foods that are not necessarily as voluminous but higher in calories. So switching from a bagel thin to a bagel is just gonna give me the extra calories. Putting chorizo in my eggs is just gonna bump up the calories. And like adding butter to my bagel today, which I wouldn't normally do, but I feel like doing little things like that is just gonna bump the calories up without making me feel like I'm intaking way more food and feel like way fuller or like too full to eat another meal. That is something we're striving for at the moment. We're basically trying to keep on top, smash those 2,100 calories, because I'm gonna be running a lot throughout this journey. And the aim of the game with that is to hopefully maintain my physique, if not build a little bit of muscle within that, because I am gonna be in the gym 3 times a week, which I think is gonna be a bit of a shock to my system, because throughout December, I was doing like 2 runs and 1 gym session a week, just where I was so busy. So now jumping into training 6 days a week, I'm so excited for it. Like, I know that sounds so silly, but like the thought of it is like making me like smile, but I'm so excited for it. But also it's gonna be a lot. I literally feel like, I said to my friends the other day, I was like, I'm not gonna have a social life while I'm basically training for this marathon, but I'm okay with that. Like, that's completely okay with me, because I feel like my head is just in like grind and like run and train and work mode at the moment, which I love. I'm sure it is for a lot of people in January, but I'm just trying to use that New Year motivation to just really focus. But yeah, that is basically where I'm up to with my calories. Another big thing that I'm trying to focus on this year is meal prepping. So along with those calories, what I was kind of finding was I'd get to the evening, have that 1,000 calories, and I wouldn't want to make anything. I cannot tell you how many Nando's I ordered over November and December. I think one week I had like 4. And that's not okay. 4 out of 7 meals I had were Nando's. And that's not me saying anything's wrong with Nando's. I'm saying that's lazy. Like, that is lazy. Also, who do I think I am spending that much money on Nando's and chicken? Like, that's not acceptable, Holly. You need to be saving your money for actual things that you want to do in life, not just purchasing Nando's. So another thing that I am aiming to do is basically meal prep a lot more. So I'm going to be doing a meal prep today. These are not anything special because, to be honest, I just need quick basic meals. And then I'm going to be saving those and having them in the evenings. So hopefully every evening that I get to now, I'm not actually gonna have to cook. I will have pre-made a meal plan so I can just sit on the sofa and eat it, because to be honest, that is all I wanna do when it's dark and rainy and cold outside. So I'm gonna be meal prepping that after I have my protein wafer, but this is my snack of the afternoon.
Just run the race in the slow pace. All I'm trying to do is run, not win, and all they do is mirror, mirror, tell me, what is it about them? Living like it's their game. Karma said it better than me. You'll just end up losing. We're in a house made of glass, devils in disguise. I can see right through your eyes, baby. I can see your lies. We're in a house made of glass, devils in disguise. I can see right through your eyes, baby. I can see your lies. Here I am, trying to stand out in the crowd, have my own sound.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, job done. I am gonna sit for like a minute because I feel like if I just start cooking again, well, I just won't because I can't. I'm just gonna have a lemsip because I just want to keep on top of this cold or whatever it is I have. I did just spill a lemsip all over the kitchen counter, and if you know the British pharmacies at the moment, you will understand that lemsip is really hard to come by. Like, people have raided the shelves. You cannot find cold and flu or paracetamol or lemsip anywhere at the moment. So I'm gonna savor every sip of this and then get cracking on lunch. I just feel like having meal prep just makes me really look like I've got my life together, and that is the vibe that I'm following for 2023. We're being organised and cooking some nice meals. Look at that. Right, I'm gonna have lunch now. I really am not in the mood to cook. Meal prep is definitely best done before the week rather than in the middle of the week. But that baby steps are getting there. I'm literally just gonna have a tuna jacket potato because you guys know how much I love my tuna. But I don't know whether anyone's gonna be like, you are literally the laziest person in the world, because when I used to have these at uni, people were like, Holly, like just cook an actual jacket potato. But why would you when you can just get frozen ones and put them in the microwave for 6 minutes and they're really light and fluffy and tasty? Like, answer me that. So these are the jacket potatoes that I'm gonna be having over the next few days. I am obsessed with these. Why would you not just put this in the microwave or the oven? But even in the oven, it takes like 45 minutes. Like, who's got time for that? 6 minutes for a jacket potato. And by the time I've made this and this is cooked, my tuna will also be ready. So it's just a win-win, really.
Here I am, I'm doing my own thing. Hell, I just wanna sing. Never wanted to impress, God bless, don't ever wanna have to. Mirror, mirror, tell me, what is it about them? Living like it's their game. In this world there's talkers and there's dudes.
Okay, so this is literally the lunch of my dreams. Like, tuna jacket potato with some cheese and some onion, just chef's kiss, and butter. Like, again, with this, I'm kind of incorporating calories in ways that like don't take up a lot of like volume in terms of my food, just so I don't feel like I'm eating as much. So I've swapped out lighter than light mayo for light mayo, because there is actually a bit of a difference. So it's just an easy way to get calories into my tuna mayo, and then obviously just adding butter and then cheese to my tuna jacket potato. But yeah, I'm gonna have this with the Diet Coke, and then I need to tidy up, really. It's not looking good over there. I cannot begin to tell you how happy I am that I've meal prepped, because I am tired and the last thing I want to do right now is cook, which is exactly what I knew my problem was going to be. So I'm just going to grab the meal prep that I made earlier, and I'm literally just going to put it in the microwave, give it a reheat, put some cheese on top, and that's dinner. This is literally fab. I don't even have to get a bowl out and wash a bowl. I was planning on having a mug cake for dessert. I don't have any mug cake. I did order some, but it's not arrived, so we're gonna have to get a little bit creative with what we're gonna have later. I literally love it when everything just comes together perfectly. So obviously I didn't have any mug cake, but I have got the protein choc crispies for my protein, and these are literally such a dream. They genuinely just taste like a chocolate Rice Krispie cake. Like, you can't even taste the protein in them. I'm gonna sign you off with a calorie total for the day. So we hit 2,040 calories today with 60 under, but that's okay. I'll probably eat a Percy pig and make that up. I hit in total 150 grams of protein, 188 grams of carbs, 72 grams of fat altogether. Very successful day. I will shamefully admit something. This is the first day I've had like in this flat in a really long time where I've eaten 3 home cooked meals. Like, I haven't popped to the shop and just got a meal deal for lunch. I haven't got a Nando's for dinner. And I feel like I just fell into this really bad habit of not cooking food over Christmas, and it just is part of being busy, but like, it's a massive focus for me going forward over January. Also, like I keep saying with the marathon, like I need to make sure I'm fueling my body, so I'm doing my runs properly and getting everything ticked off to a T, so that when I do run the marathon in April, I feel my absolute best. I just spoke to Lucy and I was like, what's the maximum I'm going to be running up to? She was like, 35k. So in my head, I'm like, 35k is doable. What's 35k in miles? Because I only really know miles. I'm trying to do the switch over at the moment and it's just not really working. 21.7 miles, so basically 22 miles. It's really weird that that's really exciting me. Like, she was like, don't let that scare you. And I was like, I'm so excited. Like, that's all I feel at the moment. I just feel excited. Maybe that's just because today I only had to do an 8 miles. So I'm kind of like, oh, it's really enjoyable. Like, when I do 10 miles, I love them. But anything above that, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. So I'm sure my first half marathon and then over half marathon, I'm gonna be thinking like, oh my good God. But we're just looking at it 1 week at a time, baby steps towards marathon. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little what I eat in a day training for a marathon and a bit of a fitness update. And I'm really, really excited for this series. I'm really excited for you guys to kind of see my progress as we go along. So I will see you next week.